In the vast and boundless universe of Swallowed Star, countless races rise and fall, countless heroes shine and fade. Yet among the many shining stars, there are two names that still echo throughout the endless cosmos: Luo Feng, the Blade River King, and the Seven Sword King. Both are peerless geniuses born in different eras, both wielders of power that could shake the heavens, and both names that made even immortals tremble. Yet the question remains, between these two kings, who stands at the true peak of supremacy? When Luo Feng first stepped into the Realm Lord realm, the universe had already begun to whisper his name. His journey from an ordinary human to a Realm Lord was nothing short of miraculous. His potential was terrifying, his understanding of the laws profound, and his willpower indomitable. During his early adventures, Luo Feng once entered the flame-sacrifice continent pagoda of the Outer Realm battlefield. There, for the sake of a precious treasure, he faced a siege from the Purple Bell King and 18 other supreme immortals. Any ordinary Realm Lord would have perished under such overwhelming might. Yet Luo Feng, wielding his blood shadow saber, turned the impossible into reality. One by one, 13 supreme immortals fell beneath his blade. The heavens trembled, and the name Sword River King was etched into the annals of the cosmos. That battle did not merely showcase his strength, it declared that Luo Feng had surpassed the limits of his realm. Though still a Realm Lord, his power had already reached that of a high-tier king. From that day onward, countless immortals viewed Luo Feng not as a rising star, but as a coming storm. But thousands of years before Luo Feng's rise, there was another who dominated the battlefield of the universe, the Seven Sword King. During the fabled battle for the Star Tower, where numerous supreme immortals from countless races fought for ownership of the ancient divine structure, the Seven Sword King emerged as a legend. Wielding his treasured void grasp, he single-handedly crushed and annihilated groups of supreme immortals, using his 7 telekinetic blades to carve through the chaos like divine lightning. His might was such that even immortals who had lived for millions of years trembled before him. The battle's aftermath was etched into history. The Seven Sword King stood unchallenged among thousands, his name roaring across the cosmos like a divine storm. Yet while both stood as towering figures, their paths were shaped by vastly different circumstances. Luo Feng's power stemmed from more than his battle experience. His human clone, forged by Zuo Shanka, carried a soul of extraordinary strength and an unshakable will. Even as a Realm Lord, his soul strength surpassed that of countless immortals. His understanding of the law of gold had reached near perfection, allowing him to mobilize the power of the universe with unmatched efficiency. Every slash, every movement, was backed by the raw force of cosmic laws. His signature technique, Mingyu Se, fused the sharpness of the sword with the profundity of space. The first move sliced through reality itself. The second shattered the fabric of space. And the third, so powerful that even a universe master would hesitate to withstand it, was said to split dimensions and annihilate existence. In contrast, the Seven Sword King walked a different path, one of discipline, precision, and terrifying control. After achieving immortality, he was taken in as a personal disciple of a universe master from the Great Axe Arena, one of the most formidable factions in the entire human race. Under that tutelage, his comprehension of the laws of the universe advanced at a pace that defied imagination. Within tens of thousands of years, a mere blink in cosmic time, he stood at the peak of the king level, earning the title of Near Invincible King. His greatest weapon was not brute power, but his mind. Using telekinesis, he controlled 7 sword-shaped treasures, forming a 3-dimensional web of attacks that no foe could escape. Every movement of those swords was precise to the micron, every strike infused with the full weight of the laws he mastered. In sheer technical mastery, the Seven Sword King's control was terrifying. His void grip, a treasure known for its ability to distort and crush space, gave him both control and attack capabilities, making him one of the most difficult opponents to face in close or range combat. Still, when comparing treasures, Luo Feng's arsenal was legendary. The Wu-killing wings made him the fastest entity in his realm, turning him into a living shadow that danced through dimensions. The Blood Shadow Saber, forged from rare G-grade metal, was a weapon designed for carnage. When paired with Femovenom, its lethality multiplied tenfold. One slash could pierce energy shields, cut through immortal divine bodies, and end even a king's existence. His equipment wasn't merely powerful, it was practical, efficient, and perfectly suited to his fighting style. Meanwhile, the Seven Sword King's seven swords formed a complete set of treasures, each harmonizing with the others. Together, they generated an attack that could distort the surrounding laws of the universe, cutting off the enemy's escape and bombarding them from every direction. His void grasp amplified his control, giving him dominance over both the battlefield and his opponent's movements. In terms of treasure quality, both stood near the peak of the king level, though Luo Feng's combinations were arguably more versatile and suited for varied environments. But the greatest difference between them lay in potential. Luo Feng's path did not end as the Sword River King. He continued to ascend, to comprehend, to evolve. The power he displayed at the Realm Lord level was but a glimpse of the greatness that would later make him one of the universe's most feared beings. His willpower, tempered by countless life and death battles, his desire to protect humanity, and his relentless drive to transcend all limits, set him apart from every genius before him. The Seven Sword King, by contrast, represented the peak of what a king could achieve without stepping beyond. His near invincibility placed him among the highest ranks of humanity's defenders during the Star Tower War. He was once listed third on the Mechanical Clan's assassination list, a position that only beings of terrifying influence could attain. Even the Fatefall King, one of the most feared assassins in the cosmos, was assigned to eliminate him. That alone was proof of his threat level. And yet, if one were to pit these two titans against each other, Luo Feng during his Daohe King era and the Seven Sword King at his peak, the battle would be one of contrasts. Luo Feng, with his explosiveness, adaptability, and near-perfect comprehension of the laws, would dominate in close combat, his saber arts capable of shattering space itself. The Seven Sword King, with his unmatched telekinetic control, would maintain distance, surrounding Luo Feng with seven blades that attacked from every direction. His void grip would attempt to suppress Luo Feng's movements, while his sword sliced through space to end the fight before Luo Feng could approach. But Luo Feng's greatest weapon was never just his blade, it was his will, the indomitable heart that defied death itself, the unyielding soul that rose stronger after every defeat. His combat instincts were honed in battles far bloodier and more desperate than any the Seven Sword King faced. While the Seven Sword King represented perfection through discipline, Luo Feng embodied transcendence through defiance. In the end, even though the Seven Sword King was hailed as the near-invincible king, Luo Feng's Daohe King self stood beyond the limitations of titles. His growth was limitless, his comprehension evolving at a rate that left even universe masters astounded. Had the two met during that era, their battle would have split galaxies and torn rifts across the void. But the outcome would likely favor Luo Feng, not because of immediate superiority, but because of the overwhelming potential and unshakable will that defined him. For in the vast universe, geniuses rise and fall like stars. Yet some stars do not merely shine, they burn eternally, lighting the path for all who come after. Luo Feng, the Blade River King, was one such light. The Seven Sword King, though brilliant, was a star bound to the heavens. Luo Feng was the one who learned to fly beyond them. Thus, between the Seven Sword King's perfection and Luo Feng's transcendence, the answer becomes clear. The Seven Sword King ruled the present, but Luo Feng, he ruled eternity. And so, in the endless expanse of the universe, where countless stars rise and countless legends fade into dust, only a few names can shake the hearts of all beings. The Seven Sword King once ruled his era with unmatched control and elegance, his seven blades weaving death into perfection. Yet Luo Feng, the Blade River King, stood as the embodiment of unyielding will, defying fate itself and turning impossibility into inevitability. One pursued the limits of mastery, the other pursued transcendence beyond the limits of the universe. In the end, time has proven that Luo Feng's brilliance was not a fleeting flame. It was an eternal sun that illuminated the boundless void. His name will forever echo across the galaxies, reminding all who gaze at the stars that true strength is not measured by realm or treasure, but by the will to rise beyond all limits. If you enjoyed this journey through the power and legend of Swallowed Star, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to explore more cosmic mysteries and untold tales of cultivation. Until next time, traveler of the stars, keep your will unbroken and your heart ever forward.